Hey guys, and welcome back to the road to 1600. Starting off today at 8:38, and got a pretty interesting game here to go through for you today. Not great from honestly myself and my opponent, but hey, I'll take what I can get at this point after the last two games. So we're starting off at white, and we're just going straight London. I haven't seen the white light squared bishop come out there just yet. That's an interesting spot. But I just developed normally. Yeah, nothing crazy. I'm okay with how I kind of developed here. Okay, I'll help develop my queen. Perfect. I probably should have moved my knight into the center of the board there now that this square had been developed. Oh well, nothing too crazy here. So, trade. And we moved pretty quick. I mean, look at the times. We were kind of racing through this game. So, as I do, I fall back with the dark squared bishop. He castles. Perfect. I lock in my dark squared bishop. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe the next move I should have pushed this up. Maybe he takes, I take. We kind of open up this position up here. Yeah, because, I'm targeting this square here. So he wants to play on the queen side pretty much the whole time. So, okay, I think he was seeing what I was seeing. If I go queen up here, I can go straight up. Whoops, not that one. If I go queen here, I could go straight up. So he comes in, block it. Good. So I'm going to try to go remove the defender. And I figured I'd castle queenside so I can get my other rook involved in the game. And now I pretty much have all my pieces involved. And he is coming for these squares right here with his knight, his bishop, and eventually his rook. He's coming in. So I start to set up the battering ram a little bit. I played a similar game like this in the past where I kind of ignored the queen side of the game and I just focused only on my attack. So this time I was trying to be a little bit more balanced, maintain a good defense while also threatening that attack. All right. I'm just playing normally here. I figured, all right, if he comes down and takes, then I'll take, then he'll take. And then his dark squared bishop has eyes on these squares. And for right now, I was okay with that. So, and I'd be up a pawn for, two pawns for a knight. I'll take that. So I was trying to set up the battering ram here extra and move my rook over onto the h-file. So then, I move up here. He takes, I take, that's mate up there. Or I move up, I take, he takes, he moves up. I wanted to have as many pieces on this side of the board as I could. So I was just trying to develop that there. So I set up the defense right here. All right, if you're going to push, if you're going to really fight for these squares, all right, I'll set up a good pawn structure. And honestly, my pawn structure here is pretty good. I got pawns on all my dark squares, but my dark squared bishop is pretty much locked in. So the dark squared bishop really doesn't do anything in this game because he is pretty much just trapped. So this one was interesting. I was kind of counting on the queen to come over here and defend these squares here when I was going to set my attack up. So I was like, okay, this is a good time to push. But I was like, he's repositioning to have his queen come down the A-file. So I was like, all right, let me move my king out of the way because I know he's coming. And I was like, all right, if he goes here, I take him. If he goes here, that doesn't mean anything. If he goes here, that doesn't mean anything. If he goes here, I take him. So you can come down here, but I don't know what you're trying to get. So he comes down. I was like, all right. I don't really know what the play is there. So actually, I think it was all right, I think he's fighting for this square one more time here. So it's if he comes down, he's threatening my queen, so I have to take. And then he comes in for check. And then he comes in and takes my queen, and then I take him. And then, I don't know. I don't know how that all is going to play out, but his knight coming here and threatening my queen, and then his bishop coming in to threaten my king was a little scary to me. So I was like, I don't want anything to be pinned right here. or have any direct pressure onto the king, so let me move my king out of the way a little preemptively. So he comes down here, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, all right, you can take that bishop all you want. I mean, I don't know what the goal is there. I'm just going to take you if you take my bishop. So I was like, okay, now let's open up the attack. Okay, fine. So, boom, I'm going to come in here. And this was a brilliant move. I don't know if I've ever had a brilliant move before. Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, if he takes, then I'm going to come in here. That's going to be check. He's going to have to move back, and then I'm just going to move up, and that'll be mate. So he actually had a really good move that I really wasn't expecting this at all. I didn't see this, but boom, block it off right here. And I should have moved, in the game review, I should have moved my rook over to try to double this attack here, but I didn't see that at the time, and I was like, wow, that was pretty good. I really wasn't expecting that. So I was like, all right, let me just regroup here. I don't really know what to do. I think I was going to move over for check, and then if he moved out of it, maybe come back over here and start to just clean house a little bit over here. Yeah. But he moved over, defending, and now it gets a little weird because my plan has kind of been foiled, and I don't know what the strategy is next. He's got the queen lingering out. I probably should have put some more direct pressure on his queen by maybe like bringing my rook out here to b1. And that's probably what I should have done at this point. But yeah, he brings his rook out, and I was like, all right, let me defend. Let me just defend. I should have moved it out to attack his queen a little bit and force his hand. But I got this nice wall right here in front of my king. I've got 3 pieces defending 2 pieces, so I was all right with that. So after take, and this was a blunder, classic. I was thinking to myself, okay, take, 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 take. Now he's got to move his rook. And my light squared bishop is in play. Now he's got to move his rook, and now I have 1 rook, a bishop, and 2 bishops, and he's got a rook, a bishop, and a knight. So I was trying to simplify the position a little bit, but I just screwed that up completely. But he got a little greedy here, so I don't know what he was thinking, but he was like, all right, I'm gonna do the exact same thing to him what he just did to me. So I scoop up the free rook, and I was like, all right, sick. He's only got 1 rook. I'm feeling really, really good with this. He brings him in. I take. He comes in. I slide up because I'm like, all right, if he comes up here, I can still take him here because I think he thinks he's gonna pin my king to my rook. So he takes. I take. He takes. I take. Perfect. I got 2 rooks. He's got 1 knight. Perfect. So I'm thinking, let's get to the center of the board. Let's get king to the center, and let's start sweeping up some of these pawns. So I go check, and I ruin the game right here. This is the game right here. I am at a winning position. I can win this game. I can ladder mate. I can promote my pawn. I can do all kinds of stuff right now because I have the 2 rooks, and I get forked, and I lose 1 of my rooks. It's classic. I was starting to get a little worried about the time. I was getting down to like that, 3.5, 3:45 mark. So I was starting to worry a little bit about time, and I just blunder away my rook. A little sneak peek, that won't be the last time. So I'm like, all right, let's link up. Let's clean up some of these pawns. I still have a pretty good position. A rook versus a knight. Yeah, he's got some more pawns, but I can get rid of those. So a couple more moves. Couple more checks. Just trying to clean up the pawns. All right, perfect. I've got a rook and a pawn. He's got a knight and a pawn. I don't know how, but I'm gonna get this. So I'm thinking also to myself, I know you can deliver checkmate with a rook and a king. It's something about the knight position, and you got to get the king into the corner and then, delivering the final blow. So I was like, all right, let me work my king up to get the king into the corner, and then maybe I can actually checkmate without trying to, clean up his pawn and his knight. So he slides over, and oh my god, I do it again. Blunder. Blundered it away. Game over. So if I can just get this pawn, I know he can't checkmate me, because you can't deliver a checkmate with a knight and a king. So I was like, let me just get this pawn, and we got to draw. At the bare minimum, we got to draw. So a couple more moves go by. I'm dancing around, trying to protect my pawn. He brings it up. Fair play. And we draw. I played really, really poorly the last 2 games. And coming into this game, I put a lot of pressure on myself to try to play better, try to play smarter. And I thought I had a pretty good attack, but when he brought that rook in, I can't even remember where that rook came in. Oh, man, I'm not even going to be able to find it. It was just... Yeah, it was all the way down here. Yeah, this one right here, rook f5. I did not see that coming. And after that, I was a little bit confused. So I'll have to figure that one out going forward, how to handle that. But I played better than I played the last 2 games. Yes, I still blundered I blundered the win away, but I played better, and I got 1 point for the draw. So not great. First draw ever. I'll take it. So if you made it this far in this video, I appreciate it. I know there's been a lot of bad chess content out of me recently, so I will try to do better. I've been trying to study, I've been trying to practice on getting better. But I appreciate you guys if you made it here. Please consider liking and subscribing as we continue to grow the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.